Hello everybody, welcome back to the pYanodons playthrough. It's Ghostified Gamer. Soon I will change my name. I'm kind of, occasionally getting it out there. I'm going to change my name on the channel to Fantastic Mr. Ghost, but I'm not doing it yet until a little bit later. I want to make sure, the message gets out slowly but surely. And probably we'll do an announcement as well. Changing the name, and all that crap. All right, what are we going to do today? Neuroprocessors. We're going to do that in this episode. And I've got a lot to cover because I did a few things off screen and found a few things out. And I hope it helps other players. That's why I go over this stuff, because I'm spending hours in the game. If someone comes along and they're, don't have as much time as me, they go, oh, I'm glad I watched, Ghost gameplay here, because I wouldn't have known that, and that saves me hours on my end, of fuddling around. Okay, so here's the neuroprocessors. Check it out. Data array. It uses a data array. We need a nanomaterial factory for the NextLit matrix, and then these other machines are just a reminder here that we need other things. Here's the neuroprocessor. We don't need this for science or any production stuff, just building right now. So I could beef this up later. That's the whole plan, at least. The unique thing here is the NextLit matrix, epoxy, NextLit, boric acid, and vacuum. Speaking in terms of NextLit plate, I did upgrade to the new creatures, and so the whole NextLit mining op has got all those thick-ats, man. They're pretty cool too. So yeah, glad I put the epoxy on the network so we can train it over. We already have boric acid, did a big build on that, and vacuum's easy. I have to build the air core inductors, the high-powered resistor, and the capacitor on site. It's not a big deal because we're bringing ceramic in already and tin for those things. So it's kind of, yeah, I guess it's okay. I'm really leaning towards building the electronics separately, maybe later on when we want to scale up. So I'm going to have to start peeling stuff out of these, rebuilding stuff, and making it where we're going to be using this stuff throughout. Now, what drives me to build it internally versus not is how much it's used within the base. And, the air core inductors are kind of getting to that point where I think I'm going to start building those off-site and training them around to save, trains from running around to multiple builds, just run to one. So I eventually will break down and do it, because a lot of this stuff's going to get rebuilt, I'm imagining. The agar, this is an interesting one. I think I'm going to start doing this off-site as well, but for now I just want to get up and running on the neuroprocessors. But the main drive for that would be consolidation of the steam generators. And, I don't care about driving seaweed around because I'm either driving agar or seaweed. But I think the rub here is driving the seaweed to an agar build to centralize that steam and get it into one spot, so I can ratio it out. And then I can expand it easier and all that too. Because what I'm seeing is that I have a lot of steam generators dotted all around the map. And it's kind of like, and it's almost like, should I generate steam as a resource to be trained as well? Because then I can manage it a lot better, and I can have multiple, builds of it. But it's a lot of training, I'm also thinking about how many trains I'm going to have training steam around versus agar versus, whatever. So it's a tough call, but I do like doing on-site steam for this case, So yeah, there's nothing more unique about it than that. We've got the ceramic on the network we can grab. We got the printed circuit board substrate 2, nickel, all that crap. So that's all good. Okay, so now I got some things to show you. Let's go down this way. Let's go into the train here. We're going to go down to here where the labs are. But while I'm doing that, I want to run over a few things. Oh, so I have 2 extra fluid wagons here because the stone patch is gone. pYanodon ate it. He ate that big stone patch. It's gone now. So now the trains are favoring this stone patch here because we have incubated and petri dishes over here. We also have some other stuff. So this stone patch is better for where I'm using stone. They're rarely going to use this one here unless it's maybe for moss. Speaking of which, moss. Aha. Where is that moss at? Here. Nope. I thought it was there. Here it is right here. I went ahead and upgraded this one to the new improved moss. It is, now I did a rough kind of look at it and calculated in my head. This build here is about 65% reduction in stone consumption versus the old one. And I took max rate calculator and I just kind of ballparked it. And I was like, wait, what am I saving here? It's, without chlorine, 28.5. And the stone is 17.85, let's say 18. Well, if you looked at the old build, it was 10 moss a second, and it was less stone, but if you multiplied it by 3, it was more, significantly more than what this build produced or consumed. So I was really happy about that. I wanted to get that in as soon as possible. The only, thing is we got to have a limestone build, but the footprint shrunk, and we have less machines and more production. So overall, it's a better thing. Iron oxide. Let's see here. Yeah, iron oxide ran out on me in the waste collection area, so I had to break down. I've got a green wire on this inserter here because the red wire is going to LTN, so I had to do a green wire. I didn't want to conflict with anything, and I'm dragging that all the way over here, and I don't understand why iron oxide's getting in here. I have to look at this thing and see why it's getting in there, because it shouldn't be. So I have the nitrobenzene plus iron plate to get iron oxide, and here's the control. If the case drops below 2100 or something like that, like 2099, it'll kick on and it'll run. And the reason I have to do that is because I ran out of iron oxide, and it's one of those things where when you're building, you may not be generating certain things. So this iron oxide ran out, and I didn't have the toroidal inductor. It was starting to run out for the red circuit. That's not good. We have to have that for our sciences and stuff. So I went ahead and did that. And that leads me to this build here, future plan stuff here. I'm going to leave the arthropod, arthropod blood in here, but all this is going to come out, the blue liqueur and all that. So what I'm going to do is cut this pump off, and then I'm going to run the blue liqueur out, and then I'm going to switch over to the anthraquone recipe that we have that uses sulfuric acid. But before I do that, I have to upgrade the cadaverics to MK02, better recipe, all that jazz. So I can't do that just yet, but I got to do it while I'm running research so I can make sure it works. Because if something fails, then I can revert back or fix stuff, So anyway, so the issue here is, I'm going to leave this hydrogen peroxide here because we have the etching solution and all that crap. This nitrobenzene to iron oxide and all that, this is going to come out now. So I'm going to pull that out of here. I'm tempted, now that we have the quinonin or whatever the hell it's called, now that we have that, I wouldn't mind stripping this out of here. The hydrogen peroxide and doing a separate build on this, as well as the etching solution, because we're going to be independent of the arthropod blood now. And I'm going to leave the arthropod blood in here because I need these shells, because I'm using them for the slaked lime, and that is for the the wafers. I can't remember which wafer it is, if highly end-doped or whatever. So I'm using the shells for slaked lime. Now, and also I didn't want to use these way back, if you remember. I didn't want to use the Zyhifos because it was 80%. Now it's 1. It's a consistent craft on these. So I'm okay with using the Zyhifos for arthropod blood, so I'll probably prioritize this one over the zippers so I can keep the shells flowing. So that's that. Okay, fun times. Lots of good stuff to do. All right, Moss. Now, new trains. So if you haven't noticed, I've got the trains here for tailings. Now, there is an issue with these trains. Now, I'm very disappointed that they decided to do this. I wish they had done, obviously they're not going to change it, but it's just voicing my frustration with it. I really want to use these trains. I really do. I think they're the coolest things. I think that the decision to make them separate was not a really good one, because a new player playing pYanodons isn't going to know this exists until they get it. And their whole base is wired up to using the vanilla train cars, the length of them being 6 tiles. For the pumps, it's a little different, And that's what I found out. I had to weed out a bunch of problems. Well, it was only 2, really. So, with these pumps and these cars, there is only 2 hitboxes on this car. The next hitbox is a blank. So the pump will not pump into the fluid wagon from here. Now remember, we did a little test on the regular cargo wagons, and I could fit 8 inserters on that, and they all worked. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but let me tell you, I'm not going to trust it. So what I'm going to do is, go by the fact that there's only 2 hitboxes on these for fluid, but the other train cars, I might do 3 and 3. I don't know. We'll see. But and I'm also considering there's a chest merge mod, and I think that might be able to help me with updating the base to these new trains. And I'll show you another thing the reason why I want to do this. But anyway, I had the rare earth oxides, which I built over here, and I have another build as well, and it's capturing the tailings. Here they are right here. So I had to go to this build, and I noticed that the TSM trains were deploying and coming back, deploying, coming back. I'm like, what's going on with these things? Well, it turns out they're going here. I had to jog the pipe over, not a big deal, but then I had to move the tailings tank and the pump over because the pump was here and it wasn't pumping into the train. So there's 2 things that you could do. Obviously move the pump over, or let me get out of here. And I have an LTN commutator right here. You have to come into this now, and I got to experiment with this because I haven't used this yet, but we have maximum and minimum train lengths. Now, I hope this works with, the dual-headed trains that I'm using. I hope they do. I might have to, I have to run a test to make sure this is going to work. So I have to do like an LTN network ID, 64 or something like that, and have a train that's a 1-1-1 and a 1-2-1. So it would be a 2-2 and a 1-1-1 train, So it would be dual-headed with 1 train, 1 fluid wagon, and or whatever. So in here, I think, now it says max length of locomotive plus wagons allowed at this station. 0 means no limit, so any train can come here. Well, guess what? I'm going to have to limit certain stops or convert them. And I think this would be a time saver because I'm going to have to run 2 different sets of trains or convert everything over so that it works with a 1-2-1 train like I'm running, like I would be running. Because now, here's the thing too. A smaller train, let's say I run a 1-1-1 fluid train. It's 25,000. But the shale oil, which I'll show you right now, I have that at 50,000. Look at this sucker. So if you use this tank, the 100,000 tank, you can do, this train is capable of 50,000. And I can do 2 pumps. Each pump goes to a wagon. So this is a really good setup. I really like this. This is really, really fun. But when it comes to smaller, quantities of fluid where I don't need, 50,000, I can do a 1-1-1 fluid wagon or a 1-1-1 cargo wagon. But if I want to do or some, high volume stuff, I can do a 1-2-1 for, like plate or ore. Remember I was having problems with the molybdenum and all that. Trying to keep the niobium plate or whatever it is filled, or it's the Kevlar, or the aramid fiber. It's the aramid fiber. I was having trouble keeping that fed with the molybdenum. And there's copper and tin and nickel and all that stuff. Now, eventually we might be able to get away from that stuff and do like localized builds where we use the bio iron and all that, whatever that stuff's called. We researched it already. So this works out pretty well. I like this. So I converted the shale oil to this format here. And the good thing is on the reclamation area, which is over here, it matches up to, there we go, see? It matches up perfectly to that. Why isn't this, that's weird. Oh, it won't show up because I got all these signals here. This is to speed up the process of getting trains in and out of here. You put all these signals in. You don't want to do this too much because it does take time for updating your processing power. So anyway, yeah, this works out really well. The 2-to-2, boom, boom, done. So these tanks are perfectly compatible with that train. Perfectly compatible. The only issue is that, for example, you know, now I converted this as well. The waste trains, if I could ever find them. I look for this big belt. That's where I find them. So I did convert these, right? And if you go to one of the sites here, you know, this right here, see how this I don't have to worry about, because we already tested that this mini loader right here will interact with the train as well as this one. So it doesn't matter where the mini loaders are, but the fluid wagons are a different story. So that's why I probably am safe to do the trains that, well, the problem is if they get flipped. Because if I have something like something small, if I could find something small here, filtration media would be a good example right here. So here, this train, if I do a 1-2-1 of the advanced train, notice it's going to load in the front car, but the train will get turned around. It's get flipped, right? So there might be a filtration media that will be facing the other way, and that's the issue with these trains that I have. So let's see here. So that's why I'm thinking about merged chests. Yeah, see this one right here. This is a good example. The Vrauk food for unloading. So if I have a 1 locomotive with 2 cargo wagons and 1 locomotive, this would not unload if the Vrauk food got unloaded on the second car. It wouldn't unload. So what I'd have to do is I could get a merge chest, and I would have to, there's a mod, and I'd have to take these steel cases and put them all down like this and merge them. And then I'd have to have a mini loader here to unload the Vrauk food. So all this is one chest. You put these chests down, and then you mouse over them, and you drag over them and merge them. And then you can copy paste them and all that stuff too. Crydex uses the merge chest mod. It's pretty cool, pretty slick mod. So and the issue here is that I don't want to use these monsters for something like this, something tiny. I could easily come over here and just add a mini loader to it, and then boom boom done. But why do that when I can just maybe go off? It's such a pain, and I don't want to have 1-1-1 trains and 1-2-1 trains, because then I have to go and find every combinator and change it to each setting. I'd rather just have the 1-2-1 trains, fluid and regular cargo, and then do the merge chests where necessary, and kind of see where they are. But it's still a big undertaking, it's still a big undertaking. Okay, so we went over that, trains. Oh, and then the fuel stops are also upgraded to having the... Oh, it's up here. There it is. This one's spaghetti because I have 2 stops. Eventually, it's going to go to 1. Now, I am going to upgrade the trains, just not the cars right away. So the cars will be a migration. So I had to do some spaghetti here because I got ash and empty canisters, coal, and kerosene canisters. So I'm using kerosene because I have an abundance of that. So I had to spaghetti that up. And then the other one is down here. And where are you? Here. Yeah, this is the other one I patched in recently. And this one went a lot better because I have the ash and ash exporting and coal importing from one side, as you can see. Oh, and I had to redo this. It wasn't the ash wasn't coming out quick enough, so I had to put 2 mini loaders and separate belts and stuff. It was getting jammed up. So I've got the ash here coming out, obviously, and then the coal coming in here. And then on this side, I put the kerosene loader and barreler. And there's the empties coming out here, and then the kerosene going in there. So it worked out pretty good on this one. Not too bad. And eventually, yeah, I want to convert over to all those new trains. And so I'm only converting the point-to-point and TSM trains right now because I want to, get in my mind what kind of hurdles I'm going to have to get over in order to, implement this thing. The other issue is that, I am going to be consuming kerosene now. So... yeah, I've got, a lot of kerosene here. There's tons of kerosene. Plenty of it. In fact, I actually was able to burn it off. as you can see. I wonder why this... Oh, this isn't even running. Interesting. Yeah, this isn't even running at all. So that's good that it's shut down. Oh, you know why? Because the solar's taken over. Yeah, see the solar? It basically shut all the steam power down. So solar takes precedence over steam. And even solar, the accumulators are a lower precedence than the steam engines. So you need to have like an SR latch to shut off your steam power so that your accumulators deplete. And when if the accumulators deplete, then you have to have an SR latch that switches on your steam power. But I don't, for this playthrough, I don't want to deal with accumulators. I think they're kind of a pain in the ass. A lot of space, and you know, the coal power is pretty good in this game, actually. That's not too bad. So yeah, so I got to keep an eye on the kerosene and make sure I have enough for running the train network on top of, you know, all the glassworks and things that I got hooked up. But I'm primarily gasoline on everything production for plates and stuff. Just a few kerosene here and there to kind of offset it a little bit. But I think I'll be fine. But I'm going to roll it out. It's going to be a slow roll. So I'm going to do a few trains, you know, maybe 20, and, you know, run the base. That's why I gotta do that and run research. Do that, run research. Okay. Oh, and then I did finally, up here, I got a little train stop here. I made a logistic case. Let me turn alt mode off. Look at that little blue sucker, man. And I got a stack filter inserter on there and the commutator for the counter. And I'm requesting the MKO2 brakes, Nexalit battery, and all that other jazz. So I'm going to be making the trains in the hub. Now, I have to request only a few at a time. You know, I got it set to 20, 10, 10, 10, 10, all that stuff. You need a lot of brakes. You need 4 brakes per train and times 2. And then 1 brake per car. So that's 4, 8, 10. You need 10 brakes just for 1 train. Whether it be it's a 1-1-1, you know, thing. So anyway, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Well, oh, I'm not building the cars, so I need 8, you know, for now. So I made it 10, no big deal. So I got everything there, and also I want to build, you know, productivity modules, speed modules, and beacons and stuff. Oh, I forgot the EVA. Oh, EVA's already on. EVA's already on the network. So, and then we need the Nexalit battery for bots later on. All right, so the VAT brain. This will run no matter what. If I put this inserter here, it will run and run and run and run and consume all your brains and all your skin, and it won't care. Because this is not, this machine, how would it know if we're running research or not? It'd be nice if it did, but I don't think they could do that. But if you start the research, what you have to do is start this too, along with it. So I'm going to have a commutator come into this this inserter. I'm going to wire it up from the base. From the hub, and I'm gonna have a commutator which I switch on. It'll kick on the backup power, the power that's consuming the coal briquettes, and it's gonna also turn this inserter on here. So if you notice, it's got an eyeball and a brain on there, and it's got a range. Now, because of this range, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna redo this before I run the research here, before the research starts. I might do it right now, and I'll do a cut, and I'll do it. But here is the new design. I'm going to have to bot it up because, I mean, the footprint, look at this range on this VAT brain. It's not very good. So I have to use a botted version in order to compress this and get it within the range. So what I want to do is 12 of these damn things. So 3, I'm thinking I can do 3, 3. I'm hoping, well, worst case scenario, it's going to be 3, 6, 9, 12. So 3 on one side, 3 on the lower side. I might be able to fit something down here, like 2 labs or something like that. But right now, I just want to get I think I'm doing 10 right now. These aren't connected here. But with the productivity boost, I can actually run 12. And as you can see, I'm testing this out. And I'm only covering, I'd say 5 or 4. No, 5. I'm only covering 5. I think this one's covered here. Yeah, that one is covered. So everything down to here. This one isn't covered. So I have 5. I have half. And I ran a little test. I set this up while the research was running. And I ran a little test on it. And it was pretty significant. It was significant enough to where I could turn these 2 labs on down here. So I was running actually 12 labs. And that helps with the speed of the research because you get 25% bonus with the VAT Brain MK01. Now, the VAT Brain MK02, 3, and 4 increase 25% each time up to 100%. And each stage uses the prior, and each stage uses brains. 15 times 4. So 60 brains to make a VAT Brain cartridge MK04. It's pretty crazy. So those Arthurian brains, well, there's technology where we can actually generate brains, and that would go into this here. So anyway, what we have to do is do fetal serum for our brain, and silver, guts, and glassware. So it kind of taxes the glassware a little bit, but we got to rebuild the glassware anyway. And then the VAT Brain cartridge here takes 15 brains, the niobium, aluminium, titanium special alloy, shale oil, I saw that coming, and fetal serum. So yeah, the shale oil is on the network, as I think I mentioned last episode. And then we got the VAT Brain. The VAT Brain will consume these, and I think it says it in the wiki up here. It does consume no matter what. It just keeps going and going and going. So you might need multiple VAT Brain units here to get a coverage to get more labs is what's going to happen. And that means more brain consumption, more VAT Brain cartridges, all that good stuff. Now, this doesn't slow these down. This is not a productivity module. It just runs. It just sits there and goes. So you don't need to speed these up. You just run the lab speed research and you're good to go. All right. So yeah, this is the design I'm looking to go with here. I'm gonna convert this to. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to take all this crap out of here, rewire it. It's a lot of work, but hey, you know, whatever. I'm going to get a bot, RoboPort, and some charging stations, and I'm going to pop this in, and we'll get some science going here with bots and the RoboBrain. Now, let's see. Oh, and I got to wire this up to do that. So I think that's about it. That's all I wanted to cover. So let's get, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut. I'm going to get this redone. And then we'll go through some research. And I'm going to change how I'm going to go over the research. It gets lengthy, so I'll show you what I'm going to do there. Alrighty, folks. There it is. I set a combinator up here at the base by the train. Constant combinator. Space science pack. But it doesn't matter really what the item is. It's a value of 1. And it's on the wire. So let's go down to the new and improved lab setup here. There it is. I'll show you what I got. Here we are. All right. So this is a really interesting one. I'm glad I didn't try to record and build this. Here, I'm going to pull this one out. I was testing it out. So we got the space science signal coming in all the way down through the rail. You know, power through the rail there. Red wire, green wire is already on there. All I need is red. I've got 2 RoboPorts here. And then some charging. I decided to put the charging here because I have the cases here. Now, one thing I always forget is that we have the pass-through feature on the labs. So I'm hoping that this isn't too much to ask here. But I'm daisy chaining, you know, pass-through. And that was the key for getting the maximum footprint here. And I think they may have thought this through. The only problem here is that power pole I can move back. I think. Yeah. I think that will go there. And this one can stay here for now. It's off-center, though. But I have the inserter here, which was in the way. That's why I put that one down. So I think that, you know, aside from power poles, that's in the way. Yeah, the power poles will have to be in between here. So I have to redo the power poles. But I'm not worried about that right now. I can do that later. So what I have here is the cases set up. Now, because these are pass-throughs, now I could do, these are stack. I could do inserters pass through this way. And have one. See, the thing is, I don't know how many labs I'm going to have. I really should have probably stack inserters on all these, but I'm going to test it out, see how it goes. The VAT Brain is in the middle, and this inserter is waiting for source items. So it's set up to activate if the space science pack signal is equal to 1. And that one's wired up there. And then I have vat brains being transmitted here. Food for thought. So this is the footprint. If you look here, I got to make sure that this is going to activate on all these before I go forward, though. As you can see down here, this one here, I have a little corner set, and I think it's interacting with it, but because this thing doesn't tell you if it's interacting, you have to kind of guess, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. Now up here, I placed this lab first. You know, I didn't place these. I got this one in, and I've got these cases here. I think, oh, let's see, that's there. So I think I want to move these. Yeah, I think that's fine. Oop, I got the other ones down there. Yeah, let's get rid of these here. Now, I can put them back in. I'm just wanting to get rid of them. So I had to, like, kind of edge the lab over and kind of fiddle with it in order to hopefully get the coverage on the vat brain here. So it looks like, well, you know, you can see that, how many can we fit here? That one's running into that one there. So if we do pass-throughs this way, so I have one case and pass through everything, which I don't think that would be a good idea. It could be tough to feed. Well, it will be tough to feed all these labs with one case. So you're going to have cases on the side because inserters can only do so much. Now, I could put stack inserters on here too, but I'm going to go with these for now because the research isn't fast by any means. Now, this is 12 labs. Now, I'm leaving these here as kind of placeholders, but I'll probably, well, they're flashing. So I'm going to get rid of those. I just wanted to showcase how they went there. But I want to leave these cases here as markers, because if I want to expand this, I can. Now here's the vat brain thing, and basically it's just going to hold 10 in here. For some reason, I didn't have a robo port on there. I think I had the incorrect thing here, because there's a cartridge and there's two cartridges. If you click on that, for some damn reason, I don't know why. Okay, we got plenty of shale oil in there. Okay, now, because I have the combinator on, it's going to bring the vat brain crap to here, the cartridge. So I'm okay with wasting a few brains to test this out, though. I can always run the augs to get brains, you know, and just kind of trash the, you know, basically it goes right to the recycling and compost, so it's no big deal. Where are these darn bots at? Here they are. I got 30. Well, there they go. Now they're getting the science there. They're going to fill it up. So we'll see how this goes. See how fast that is? That's not too bad, actually. Now they're getting the vat brain stuff there. So that'll... Okay, now this thing talks. I don't know if I told you guys. This thing says, bow before me. I think it's a movie reference. And there was like a vat brain in a movie, and it said, bow before me. Some kind of sci-fi movie. And I looked it up, but I can't... There's nothing specific about this. Okay, let's see if we got this now. Yes, 25%. Cool. 25%. So I've got 12 labs here. I'm gonna run it with 12 with the productivity and see how it goes. There it is. Bow before me. That is riot, man. I love it. Okay. So that, look, you know, we'll see how this runs. You can always see if these starve out, you know, you see the animation stops running and stuff. So let's go in here. Now, I'm going to try and streamline a little bit on some of the research that we're talking about here. I do want to go over the animals, though. Oh, but what I'm focused, oh man, I tell you, I want to get these little robots. I got to get these upgraded. Now, here's the cargo pYanobot. I can't get this until I get super steel. Yeah, so we got to go molten iron to molten steel to molten stainless to molten super steel, I think is how it goes. I looked at it, and I think it's all, you got to do 4 chains to get the 1. It's crazy. But I'm not worried about that. What I want is this thing here, this pyroboport MK02, because the charging is far better. It's bigger supply area. It can fit 6 bots and charge really fast. And I'm really getting sick and tired. With the hub the way it is right now, it's going to take, the bots are just hovering around the ports. Now, there's the construction Pinobot, or Pinobot. Yeah, Pinobot. And this one here uses the Nextlit battery, which is why I wanted to get that on the network. And the EVA, well, we need the Nextlit battery for other stuff too. And then all that other stuff there. So we have everything here except the flying robot frame, which isn't too bad. And the flying robot frame is the niobium plate battery, mechanical parts, electric engine, complex circuit, and beryllium. So we have all that. And then there's the construction zone extender. I don't want to have a huge bot network because it screws your, it does take, it takes time away from your computing time on your computer. And also, I mean, I got personal bots. What the heck do I need a big zone? It is nice to punch down, like when you get builds and you get in an end game and you just want to add capacity. Yeah, that's great. Go ahead, go ham, go crazy, and watch your computer smoke. So we have to basically walk up to the different chains here. So I'd like to get these bots, and anything that comes along the way is fine too. So this is a prime example of, I'm not going to go over this thing here. We all know by this point in time, we're going to have the pulp and basically this is processed chromite. Then we get the high grade, and then we have molten versions and all that stuff, and then the hot. So I'm not going to go over those things, but when I do a build, I'll go over it and what I had to do in order to get that going. Okay, and then we got this one here, alloy smelting 3. So basically it's the molten versions of the iron niobium and all this. So we got a molten version of this one here. Now we have a new item, a niobium titanium alloy. That's where I probably become a molten version later. Molten version of this. This is a new one, silver zinc alloy. And apparently this is a molten version. Well, we got a hot version of this, and it's made in a smelter. It's very odd. So it's taking, now we've had this before where we take plates. Now it might turn into a molten version, but I don't know about the super crystalline structure. So this is our alloy smelting for these higher end ones. And it'd be nice to get this ferrochrome on there in these two, especially the nichrome. So that's why I'm leaning towards a liquid molten delivery system as opposed to, you know, we do the plate and we could probably do the moltens and then deliver the moltens to the specific areas. And it'd be easier kind of to manage that where we separate the two and we're not like underbuilding or mainly I don't want to underbuild something. I want to be able to build it right size and also have it to where it's repeatable, you know, where we can punch down more. Okay, so we got that one there. The molten stuff. This diamond stuff, holy cripes, this is ridiculous, man. I am not going to go over this stuff again for timing, but what we need is we need diamond wire. And we need this industrial diamond here. I think it's one of these. There it is. Industrial diamond. And this is a part of science, I think, later on. There's a bunch of stages here. But again, when we get to building this, I'll go over it. Here's all this stuff. It would take me, you know, a long time to go through that. Okay. Ooh, PyScience. I'd like to get this one out of the way, too. The PyScience 3, so we could take a look at that one. Although we can take a look at it now. There's the diamond, and it's going over here. Oh, yeah, so we got a lot of dependencies here. So let's click on this thing here, and then see if we can knock out. That's the industrial diamond. Oh, wow, look at this stuff here. So we got microcyan J25. We need glassware, laboratory equipment, cyberstatics, Arthurian egg, Naven, sea sponge, and flavonoids. Jesus. Oh, we can't do that one either. So we need this. Oh, okay. All right, let's run this one then. I'm trying to work my way backwards. And Factorio is really bad about that. It's really difficult to find the dependencies in this mod. Oh, geez. Look at this thing. Diethylchlorosilane. Okay, water and hydrogen chloride gives us this PDMS. dimethylsiloxane. Yeah. It's kind of, if you slow down and break it up, it kind of makes sense. Special gel to work into nanotech. Okay. So we've got nickel core, pure sand and all that. So this is the stuff I want to read though. So we got the PDMS nickel core sulfuric acid etching solution. We got a graphene base. A graphene-based copper plate boric acid gives us the sheet. Holy cripes. Biofilm, graphene sheet, phosphoric acid, graphene roll. And then we've got a molecular assembler. Oh, wow. And we can build it, too, eventually. Methanol, hydrogen chloride. We get chloromethane. Okay. And then here is this other stuff. Silicon, copper, grade 4, and chloromethane. Wow. Okay, that's some crazy stuff there. Oh, now here's the dependencies we can get to here. What the hell is this stuff? Big mines? Ooh, let's get this. Oh, yeah. This would be great. So we need... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So we need the fluid mining drill. And check this out. Neuroprocessor 20. And, you know, whatever. Mine prior. Graphene roll. Cobalt chromium alloy. Oh, my God. This is crazy. Here's a quartz mine. Oh, look. It needs a bot. It needs construction bot in that one. Who threw that in there? Trying to see if there's anything different with these here. Here's a copper, here's iron. These would be nice. You know, because you place these down and they are pretty quick. Open pit iron mine. Yeah, so we can do a lot of stuff here. So we'll start the research on that. We'll take a look at those when we get to it. Let's go... Oh, wow, look at that. Now, we'll click on this guy here, I guess. And we were looking at diamonds. See, yeah, once I click on that, now I can't find the bots. They're here, but it changes the view, and that's what drives me nuts, you know? If I click on this thing, you know, it's very difficult to follow where the heck these things are going. Well, let's get this one here. Yeah, we'll work on this one. Oh, I can't do that. Genetic stage 4. Oh, now we can do this one. Yeah, yeah. So we went over this. Oh, we didn't go over this, though. Resveratrol. Chromium glass. Oh, my God. Chromium glassware, Nexlet plate, Yotoi, aloe fruit, moss, organic solvent, flavonoids, and arcwood honey. And we get this resveratrol. Natural phenol produced by plants in response to injury. Oh, my gosh. Oh, and this primer. Okay, I've been waiting for this one. Because right now we're running off of primers that are hit or miss, 60% or 80%. So we give it sap, sea sponge, all this stuff. And then we get a guaranteed primer. And then right now we don't have that. This is 2 DNA polymers, 2 glassware, laboratory instrument, retrovirus, Arthurian egg, and arcwood honey now. Interesting. And now the great alien sample. Oh, God. This is the next pain right here, too. Poor alien sample. Glassware. Chitin. So now, or chitin. We're using that in this stuff now. So that's a Vrauk and B, you know, some for what we have now. Biosample. Good alien sample. So we're going to include that in there now. DNA polymers. Primers. Arthurian egg, graphene roll, and formamide. Oh, dear. That's a nutty one there. So we'll unlock that. Now we've got these. Oh, look, we got level 2 stuff. Ooh, a Demus. What is it? Dilamos. Oh, what's this say? Unlock the Dilamo. A supersized crossbreed crustacean. Wow, that looks pretty cool. Okay, so now I think we can do the Dingrits. Nope, not yet. Oh, here, this one. Yeah, this is the food for those wolves. Of course, there's probably more to it than that. Can we build this? Yes, we can. Real simple construction there. Oh, here's the spin up. Lizard and, oh, a roadrunner. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, it's the wolf, the coyote, and the roadrunner. What does it say? Level 3 carnivore. Be careful. Wow, what the hell? But yeah, the Wile E. Coyote and roadrunner. Beep, beep. That's what this is, I think. That's awesome. Biosample, cDNA, great alien sample, lizard and roadrunner, a Scrondix codex, Arthurian egg, and field serum, all that stuff. So we're gonna have to do Arthurians. I can't wait to do them though. Those look pretty cool. So now we got the phosphorus glass on that one. We got the caged and we got the uncaged. Here's the cub, meat, tree seeds, floge, water barrel. Okay, cool. Reproductive complex there. Meat, cub, tree seeds, yotoi leaves, and then we get this thing here. I doubt it's a carnivore. It's kind of funny. Oh, well, it eats meat. Now, when we render it, oh, we get a pineal. Is that a pineal gland? Brain, blood, lard, skin, meat. Okay, sounds good. Yeah. And then, oh, we got manure out of these too now. What is this? 5? Oh, that's not much. Better name for alien. Better name for alien shit. There we go. Start that research. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'd like to work towards the better bots because of mainly for building going forward and all that, and gives me something to do. You know, it gives me a goal to run to. But yeah, we'll run that. Oh my god, look at this. So the key here is, can these inserters keep up with this? This will be nuts. Okay, there was a big surge there. So we'll have to see how this goes. Oh, they're busy. It looks like it's doing all right, though. Yeah, okay. It looks like it's kind of buffering up. And now we got a little bit of... We got more movement here than we do over here, obviously. So the max... The worst case scenario is these have to run. You know, or need products. So that's not too bad. And we're getting productivity. So that's... Remember, I wanted this before. And it doesn't slow the machine down. But... So now here's what I might have to do. I might have to pull this inserter here because I'm running 12. Even though I got productivity, it's gonna tax all these builds here. So we'll have to see how that goes. Another thing too, if you notice, I got a lot of science in here because when I pulled the belts up, it went back into the case. So hopefully this will work. I am wired to the combinator. I don't need to do this. I could wire the RoboPort to here. So I might do that just because but the problem is if you pull, chances are you're not going to pull the case. You're going to pull the RoboPort to reposition it. And then you have all these trains flooding in. That's how TSM operates, you know. Oh, they're going over there. See, this I don't like. This is why I want that the MKO2 RoboPorts because of, things like this. Okay, I'm going to run this science here. The episodes are going to be kind of longer because I'm going over the research as well. But for future research going over it, I'm not going to go over, like I said, I'm not going to go over the chemical or the chemical processing for the ores into plates or into molten versions. We'll go over the builds once I get them. But I'll click on those researches and show you that what we're getting. I'll show you, we're doing this research, here's all the stuff, but we'll go over it when I build it. I hope that makes sense. All right, I'll see you in a speed up of neuroprocessors. All right, it is done. You know what I was thinking? I gotta cut this short because I ran the everything through the editor, and it's like, uh-oh, I'm getting close to that hour mark, and I don't like to go over an hour very much. Well, here it is, the neuroprocessor, and you know, I'm thinking with these builds where we've got all this stuff in various quantities, and the way the trains are set up too sometimes, you know, like I have, you know, the arithmetic combinator on some things like this, you know, here. I set this up to a provide of 50, and it stacks to 100. I don't know why it stacks to 100, but it does. So things like this here, what happens is that if I want to request a lot of moss, or I mean seaweed, and some other things that in lower quantities, so, you know, I got the fiber, the optical fiber, and I've got the printed circuit board substrate tier 2, things like that, epoxy biosamples. Those aren't really high count items. You don't need a lot. I think I need more vacuum on this, but this is meant to just get the building up and running so we can get the tier 2 buildings and start to upgrade stuff and build better. But anyway, yeah, so this, like, I don't need much. It's 5-second craft on this, and it's you know, 4, 3, you know, 4 and 3 of those. And this thing here, that's a 2-second craft. Holy cow, that's fast. Wow. 10 optical fiber. Holy crap. Now, I didn't factor the base for this particular one here. However, like I said, and I think in the beginning of the episode here, I do have this research queued up here, or in Helmod, and I'm going to be deleting all this crap here going forward. And I'm going to have this is going to be the baseline for building going forward. So I'll have all the science packs here. It's going to be based off of this science, and I want to break everything out. And, you know, 10 labs is going to be kind of that I can change very easily within this tab here, so I can get an idea where I'm at, because I can go into the labs here and I can put a yeah, here I could do vat brains. See, oh, it won't work. It's not taking the vat brain. I wonder why. Well, I guess I'll have to do like a 25% times 10 or something, and that's actually how many labs I have, I guess. That is weird. Yeah, the vat brain doesn't work. I guess you'd have to do a module, you know, like this, a beacon on there, and then, but there's no modules here either. What's going on with this? Yeah, this is broken. I don't think they thought this through here. Can I unselect it? No. Oh, there. No, I can't. Well, I'd have to delete this whole thing. Oh, it's still there. That's fine. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing this. Picking a research that has all the science packs, except for space. That's kind of a wild card there right now. So we'll just have to, you know, if we ever get to that space science pack, we'll just have to build it and kind of just debug it as we go. There are some things that I could probably do with this space science pack within Helmod. I just got to fiddle with it and see if I can get it in here, because we can go by piece, you know, take each piece that goes into the rocket and kind of go from that. I really don't know what the you get space science, you know, things out of it. You know, it's not like a space science vial, it's a different icon, but it's a space science pack basically. And in order to, you have to walk that backwards. So you start with something and you work your way backwards, or you just get a general idea. But anyway, so yeah, neuroprocessor's done, and it's funny because I was trying to set up some of these things. Oh my god, I was trying to set up some things here as I was waiting for the research, and I got the ball mill and I get to the chem plant, it requires a neuroprocessor. I'm like, well, I don't want to set this up and then have to go and figure out where the heck everything is. I want to go machine by machine by machine so I can keep track of progress and all that. Oh, and then off screen I did, I ripped up all the rest of, no, that's not it. Here, I ripped up everything here, and the only, this is where the hub used to be, and this rail is out. And I got some cases I got to get out of here. And then I've got this MK01 wind tower thing here to pull out. And I think I might make a block out of this here, put a block in here, and maybe this would be a good candidate for a yard going from here. So I could move this, take this out of here and put a yard here. So that's the plan, I guess. I have to remember all these things I say, you know. That's what I watch my old videos to, you know, like, what was did I say anything I need? You know, I got to keep track of my little checklists because I keep forgetting about stuff. But anyway, so yeah, we got neuroprocessors, yippee skippy. And next episode, I'm wanting to upgrade the power. I've got everything I need for it. And so we'll go over that in the next episode. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. Hope you enjoyed. Peace out.